All right, everybody, your next comedian. Her name on the streets is Big Time Mel. Give it up for Melissa Scafidi.
Yeah, guys, hi. This is my first time in Shelton, Washington. Yeah, give it up for trying new things. Yeah, I am cherry popping tonight, so I'm so glad my first time is with all you guys. Yeah, it's really special. Yeah, really special. So I know what you were thinking when I came on stage. You were like, oh my God, Meadow Soprano does comedy now? Like, what? Tony Soprano's daughter? She took a weird turn, right? Like, went from being a mob princess to this. I don't know, kind of weird move, right? Actually, the other day a guy came up to me. I was at work, and he was like, you know who you look like? I'm like, no, who? And he said, have you seen the newer Superman movies? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you know Marissa Tomei? I'm like, the 60-year-old woman? And he's like, yeah, her. And I'm like, what about her? And he's like, yeah, I think you look like her. And I'm like, you think I look 60 years old? And he's like, no, like when she was young. And I'm like, well, then you should have said Marissa Tomei from My Cousin Vinny. Yeah, not from the Spider-Man movies that came out a couple years ago. But you know what? It's fine. I'm really looking forward to turning 36. It's like, yay, it's only going to go up from here. Can't wait. Yeah, so I'm actually, of course, I'm Italian, a nice Italian girl from Chicago. Yes, thank you. We are very rare out here, let me tell you. All right? There's none of them. When I meet one, I'm like, oh my God, another unicorn? We're going to get along just fine. Just fine. Yeah, so my father, he's from Sicily. So yeah, if you weren't scared before, you should be now. And my mom was born here, so I'm a mutt. I'm a mixed breed. So she's not Italian. And I remember one time when I was a kid, I was wearing an undershirt. And I said, hey, Ma, I'm going to need a new Dago tee, right? Isn't that what people call them, Dago tees? And she's like, right? And she was like, you know, you really shouldn't say that because that's a derogatory term for Italians. And I was like, you know what? Actually, you shouldn't really say that. I can call it that if I want to call it that, okay, lady? Like, know your place. And then I said, okay, fine. What am I supposed to call it then? And she's like, it's called a wife beater. And I'm like, I think that's worse, right? Can we agree on this? Even as a kid, I'm like, that's a weird move, lady. But whatever. If you want to call it that, have fun. All right. So I moved out I live in Seattle now. I moved out here about 2.5 years ago. And when I moved out here, people were like, oh, you should really have mace on you, right? Mace? I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm from a major city. Of course I have mace on me. Like, that'd be weird not to. And they're like, no, like bear mace. I'm like, whoa. It's like not what I envisioned for some reason. But no worries. I have bear mace now and my regular mace. I feel ultra protected. Yeah. So my parents, I have older parents. They just had their 50th wedding anniversary. Yes, right? Clap it up for them. I'll tell them. I'll be like, people in Shelton, Washington were very impressed by this, okay? They're going to be like, where is that? I'm like, yeah, I didn't know either until recently. So my father used to pump gas for my mom. When they're out, she'd be like, oh, I need gas. He's like, I will pump it for you. Isn't that so nice? He does that too? What a gentleman. That's really nice. It's really cute, you know? And this morning, because I had to make a long drive, I was pumping my gas, right? You know, I'm like, I got to be on a full tank. And I was at Costco just pumping. And I'm like, you know what? Someone else should really be doing this. Like, I don't feel like I should be doing this right now. And I told my boyfriend, I'm like, yeah, I'm pumping my gas right now, and I don't feel like I should be doing this. And he's like, you know what? I was masturbating this morning, and I was thinking, shouldn't someone else be doing this? And I was like, oh, touche. Got me there. It's all right. So, you guys, don't you think it would be really cool to have a stalker? Bear with me here. I always get some people like, no. I'm like, think about it. Think about it for a minute, because I've thought about this. Imagine it. It's Friday night. You have no friends. You want to go out. guess who's available? The stalker, they're available. And I'll be like, hey, stalker, I'm feeling lonely. Are you free tonight? And they're like, actually, yes. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have anything going on. They're like, yeah, I know. I'm like, how do you know that? They're like, hello. I'm like, oh, yeah, duh. Of course you know what I'm doing. And then I say, okay, well, I want to hang out. How soon can you get here? They're like, actually, I'm at your front door right now. So it's really convenient. Then I was thinking, let's say it's your birthday, right? Your friends take you out for dinner. How sweet is that? They take you out for a nice dinner. Yeah. And then the stalker buys you a new car. And they're like, isn't this nice? We took you out to dinner. I'm like, I don't know. This guy bought me a car. So who's the better friend, you know? Then one of your other friends buys you like a really nice designer purse. And you're like, oh, that's so nice, you know? Then I'm like, well, my stalker bought me an island, so do better, okay? What about when you need a ride to the airport? I struggle with this, okay? Ubers are expensive, and you're like calling all of your friends, and you're like, I know you are available. I know you have nothing going on. Like you go into like that Facebook group you're in that it's like 300 people are in there because we all like hiking or something, and you've never gone hiking, and you're like, hey friends, can anyone here give me a ride to the airport? You don't have to worry about it because you can call the stalker. They'll give you a ride, okay? Then, okay, it might get a little bit weird. I'll bear with you. It might get a little bit weird. They might be like, hey, Mel, can I have a piece of your hair? And I'll be like, yeah, go grab my hairbrush. I don't care at that point. What does it matter, you know? The only bad part is when they murder you. You know, it's like, you know, it was a fun run, not a long run, but we had some good times, you know? That's pluses and minuses here. Okay, you guys, the other day, someone rang my doorbell. First of all, that doesn't happen a lot. So already I'm like, whoa, they're at the wrong house. So they rang my doorbell, and it was a guy standing there wearing a suit, and he asked for me. He was like, are you Melissa's graffiti? And I was like, I didn't do it. Whatever it is, right? And then he's like, no. I was looking for you. It's nothing like bad. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's a guy in a suit ringing my doorbell. And I'm like, it finally happened. I won Publishers Clearinghouse. Yes! I'm like, where is Ed McMahon with the big check? And at this point, Ed McMahon had already been dead. But I'm like, a girl can still dream, right? You know, like, he came out of the grave for me. I don't know. So he was like, no, it's not that either. I'm like, this guy's so disappointing. He's like, I'm actually here from Ford Automotive Company, and we've been trying to contact you about your defective airbags. Oh, no. You guys, they come to your house now. They're like, I was like, no! He's like, yeah, we tried calling you, we tried texting you, we tried emailing you, we sent messenger pigeons out, we sent smoke signals. You guys, they sent me a birthday card. It said, happy birthday, Melissa. This might be your last birthday unless you change your defective airbags. I was like, am I getting threatened with birthday cards now? My stalker would never do that. All right. And then I told the guy, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I sold that car a year ago. Like, I don't have that car anymore. And he just looked so disappointed. He was like, oh my God, I finally found her, and now I can't even change her airbags. And I was thinking, like, the people at Ford, they probably, like, were sitting around a round table, and they were like, how will we reach Melissa? We've tried everything. And they're like, we've got it. We will ring her doorbell because it's worked so well for the Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, I don't know. Keep trying. All right. Does anyone here live alone? I live alone. I need more sad people in the room. There's a couple of us. I'm right there with you. It's fine.
I know.
Yeah. Thank you. People who want to be sad. Okay, that's fine too. All right. So people who live alone, do you ever get stressed out when your food is about to expire? Because you're like, this is all on me. Like, me and this potato salad, it's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I got to finish this, you know? And I always think, like, am I doing something wrong when I'm grocery shopping? Like, maybe it's my fault. Because what is a single woman doing with a Costco membership, right? I might be the problem. And then I use the excuse, it's for the cheap gas, right? But that's not really it, for me at least. And toilet paper, yeah, sure. But really the reason I have the membership, at least, is because of the power I feel when I am pushing this oversized shopping cart down the aisle. And the way I shop, people must think this woman has a loving husband at home and like 5 kids, because that's what I would think if I would see me coming, you know? So I just want people to think that I'm loved, you know? And yeah, because they're like, what else would she be doing with all that pasta sauce, right? Otherwise, it's just weird. So that's part of the problem. The other part of the problem is the only other store I go grocery shopping at is Grocery Outlet, right? Gross shit. So why am I buying? That's what it's called, right? Gross shit. So why am I buying things that are going to expire in 2 days, you know? So I thought about this. I said, how do I solve this problem of food waste, you know? Because I don't want to throw it away. I'm not a bad person. So it's either, you know, start shopping like a normal person or start a family. One of them seems a little easier than the other. I'll get back to you on that. I'm working on it, though. Okay. All right, so I'm dating this guy, and he's 6'5". I'm not exaggerating at all. Okay, and looking at my stature, I am 5'2", almost, all right? A little bit of a height difference here. And one of the pros of that is I get to go on piggyback rides. All right? Who here has been on a piggyback ride as an adult, like recently? No. Just me? And that weird guy in the back? Okay, just me? No, that tracks. That makes sense, yeah. Okay, so that's something I get to do now. And the other day I was going on a piggyback ride, and okay, you guys, I can see things I normally am not privy to, right? Like, when is the last time you saw the top of your fridge? Because for me, it's never, all right? I've never seen the top of the fridge. And then I felt like, you know, those people who hold their dog up in a video and they're like, this is the first time my dog has seen the inside of a microwave, or this is the first time my dog has seen the inside of a dryer. I felt like the dog in those videos. Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. And then I, you know, was thinking about other things he has to see that, like, you don't want to see, you know? And I was going down that spiral. And then I was like, yeah, he has to see the top of a bald man's head. Right? You only usually see it from the side. At least I do. And then I was like, oh my God, you have to see how, like, shiny and depressing it is? Oh, that's terrible. I don't want to see that. Yeah, so, well, you're bald all around, but yeah, still. We're friends, it's fine. So I was like, there's some things you don't want to have to see. So maybe I should stop complaining about not being able to reach things on the top shelf, because this guy got to see some unfortunate things, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll leave you with this. So has anyone here ever had a joke stolen from them? Yes. Bruce, okay. All right. So I've had a joke stolen from me. I didn't even really think it was that good of a joke, but apparently if we're stealing jokes, it must have been great. Do you guys want to hear it? Yeah, okay, fine. All right, so I told you, I hinted at how old I am. So I learned how to dial a phone on a rotary phone. That's how I learned. Yeah, real old school. And I always called it the pound sign. Do we know what I'm talking about? The pound sign, yeah. And the pound sign is the name of it. Yes, that's what it is called. All right. So then people started calling it the hashtag sign. I'm like, what is this shit? No. So I'm like, I'm going to keep calling it the pound sign, all right? And I kept calling it that until, do you guys remember the Me Too movement? He already knows where this is going. Yeah, and someone tried stealing this joke, all right? And I said, I thought that, hashtag Me Too sounds a little better than Pound Me Too. So I stopped calling it that. Yeah, okay, I wrote this joke. How long ago was this? 4 years ago? So if you ever hear anyone do this joke, be like, Big Time Mel did it first. And I have it recorded, okay? So this guy tried to steal it. And before he said the punchline, I'm like, doo-doo-doo-doo. And then I said I did this joke at the same bar last week. So maybe, steal your material from somewhere else. But yeah, all right.